kitchen, and this is the first time I've tried something like this, but I've been thinking a lot about the conversations we've had, or I've had with the camera, about order in the home, and I was thinking maybe it would be helpful to kind of see in action how to organize things. Obviously, things are a little bit different when you have children in your family. There's a lot of great resources out there for how to organize things, especially in the kitchen, which is the area I'm working in today, to have snacks at kid level so they can just come and get their own snacks and things like that. But today I am especially working on one cabinet. So this is our tea and coffee cabinet, and as you can see, there's some attempt at order, but it's not as great as it could be. So coffee down here, tea here, and then hot chocolate, and I'm looking at how I can kind of condense this to make it more easy to use. So my goal is always, how can I make this as easy as possible? Life is, kind of fast paced, and there's a lot going on because we've chosen to have a lot going on in our life. And so, you just want to make your areas places where you can easily navigate and get what you need. That's especially true in a family. So the first thing I'm going to think about is how can I condense this? This is a lot. I started by taking everything out and kind of putting it in sections. All right, so this is all the stuff, and as I go through it, I'm going to think about how old some of the stuff is and if some of it just needs to be thrown away. But another way to reduce the amount of space this takes up is by taking what can be taken out of its package. So it helps me to start with categorizing. So I'm going to put all the tea together. Just take it out of the packaging for now. Some loose tea in here. That's empty now. There's tea bags in each one. It doesn't really, the type, I could, if I cared about seeing what type it was, I would just leave it in here, but I'm just going to take the tea out. Different kind of tea. See all of these coming out. I've started to, as I take the tea bags out, I have this container. I always try to make use of containers I already have. And I might change this later, but this is what I'm doing. I was actually able to empty all of these containers and just put all the tea in here. I still have this Tazo container, which I really like. That might be good for these size. So I'll try that and see if I like it. Wow, I think that is actually mold on coffee. The pile of recycling is growing as I empty things. All right, so I was able to, by taking everything out of its package and tossing just a couple things that were bad, I think I only ended up throwing away 2 things. We have all of our instant coffees and teas here. All the teas here with some overflow in this container. This is mostly the Bigelow Earl Grey, and then some of those other bags I put in there. And then the coffee, I transferred, it all fit in here, and then I snuck some of the less attractive coffee bits. I think those go to our cappuccino maker. And then this I can put in here as well. And then the hot chocolate. So now thinking about ease, coffee is what I drink the most. So that's gonna go on the bottom, and that's just easy to grab when I need it. I put the one that I'm using currently at the front, so it's easy for me to grab. Then tea is the second most common drink, so I'll put that here, kind of where it's easy for me to grab the whole thing and pull it down. These teas would be teas that I don't normally drink, so I'm going to put that in the back since I won't use that as much. Same thing with these. I really just keep this around for sweet tea, which I rarely make. In fact, I probably use that even less than the other. So I think I'm just going to rearrange that. Put the Lipton here. And then I can put this on top so I remember that I have that. And then the honey right here, so it's easy for me to grab. And then the hot chocolate and the instant, we drink very seldom. So I'll just put that up here and grab it when I need. With the instant coffee, and then the other hot cocoa in the back. And there, much better. Time to recycle. So that whole project probably took about 10 minutes, and it just makes it so much easier and more pleasant to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, which I think I'm gonna do right now, make myself a cup of tea. But this is little things like this, and then maintaining them really helps family life by adding joy and increasing calm. Organizing drawers and cabinets isn't something that most people struggle with. For most of us, it's maintaining that. But really, the secret to not having to constantly reorganize is just making sure, like developing that habit of putting things back the way you found it. So for example, when I put back my tea, I notice a little one sticking out. After a while, they kind of get all cattywampus, but every time I see that, I put it back. It's the same thing I teach my first graders, is you put things back exactly the way you found them. So it's being mindful of how does that look compared to when I found it? Is a drawer completely closed? It's paying attention to those details, and that's a tricky habit to develop at first, but like all habits, once it's a habit, it's a habit. And then you find yourself not really having to spend time organizing things because you're just really maintaining an organized environment. Of course, you may be thinking, yeah, that's fine for me, but how do you get children or spouses to make sure to maintain that environment as well? We are sharing a home together as a family. Great question. While you're raising children, part of what you want to teach them, an excellent lesson that you're providing them, is how to maintain an orderly environment. So it's a constant teaching. That's what I do with my first graders. I model, I practice, and you can actually find videos on my Love Alex channel that show how I demonstrate how to put things back. I make it a routine. That's something that I learned as a Montessori teacher, just the beauty of explicitly teaching how to clean up, how to maintain order. That is a really empowering thing to teach a child who then becomes an adult and can order their world with ease because it's already a habit for them. So you're really giving a gift when you take the time to explicitly teach your sons and daughters what it looks like to maintain an orderly environment. So I hope this has helped, and happy organizing and ordering. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post or send me a message.